It's an historic and unique election day here in southern New England. Good evening. I'm Mike Montecalvo.
And I'm Shannon Heggie. With many choosing to vote by mail this year, Rhode Island is seeing near record-breaking voter turnout, and there are still hours to go to cast your ballot. Our cameras captured this scene in Criston this morning at the Hope Highlands School. You can see voters lined up to cast their ballots, all standing 6 feet apart, wearing masks.
12 News has a team of experienced reporters covering local congressional races and some hotly contested mayoral races and statewide ballot questions both in Rhode Island and Massachusetts.
The biggest race today, of course, is the race for president. Target 12 investigator Tim White and 12 News politics editor Ted Nesi have details on how each candidate spent the day today and what's at stake for both President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden.
Mike and Shannon, polls will start closing in parts of the country in 1 hour, and as they do, Ted, this is the map we'll be tracking closely throughout the night and who knows, maybe even in the coming days. As polls close and votes are counted, the color of these states will fill in blue or red, and the goal, of course, for the winning candidate is to reach 270 electoral votes.
And for the final push, both the Trump and Biden campaigns have spent a lot of time not too far from us in Pennsylvania, a key battleground state that Trump won in 2016 and one that could decide this year's race too. After starting his day by attending Mass and visiting the grave of his late son Beau, Joe Biden went to his childhood home in Scranton, Pennsylvania, where he was greeted by supporters. Inside, Biden signed the wall of the home, writing, "From this house to the White House with the grace of God."
For his part, President Trump was at his campaign headquarters in Virginia today after holding a midnight rally in Grand Rapids, Michigan, just as he did in 2016.
I think Pennsylvania is very important. Florida is very important, obviously. A lot of people talked about Texas, and Texas is, we will have a tremendous victory there based on, everything that you see.
Now, Trump also expressed confidence that he will win in Arizona, a state that he took in 2016, but recent polling has given a slight edge to Joe Biden.
And as the president said there, Florida is a key battleground yet again this election. 29 electoral votes are up for grabs in Florida. Trump won the state in 2016, and it's likely a must-win again for him this year. The count expected to go quickly in Florida once the polls start closing at 7 p.m. our time.
Now, coming up new at 5:30, Ted and I will be back here in the Elections Update Center to examine the balance of power in the U.S. Senate and what it could mean for Rhode Island and Massachusetts if the Democrats win back control. For Ted Nesi, I'm Tim White, 12 News.
Thank you, Tim and Ted. Here at home, safety precautions are in place at the polls.
This was the scene in Providence. You can also see everyone wearing masks and plexiglass separating workers from voters. It's just one of the many unusual parts of this election year.
12 News reporter Kim Kalunian is live at the Ava Messer School in Providence with a look at what's happening there. Kim?
Well, Mike and Shannon, we've been here outside of this Providence polling location since earlier this afternoon, and over the course of many hours we've been talking to voters here, and they all seem more eager than ever to cast their ballots in this race. Now, as you were just saying, voting this year has looked a little bit different. We've already seen more than 300,000 Rhode Islanders cast their ballots early, either by mail or in person, and today we just learned that we've now seen more than 140,000 Rhode Island voters at the polls on this election day. It is putting us on track to break the 2016 total and also the record of 475,000 votes set back in 2008. Now, we spoke with some of the voters out here today who might help to shatter that record and what they think about this election cycle.
The stakes just feel higher. It's more tense than I feel like it's ever been.
I can't just sit back and hope for the best anymore. I have to be a part of the change.
I think nothing less than democracy itself is on the line in this election. I think we have a very clear choice of which way this country wants to go, and I hope whatever people want to do, they show up and vote, because it really matters this time.
And just to share a personal anecdote about how energized voters are today, my grandmother turns 80 years old today, and she is out voting today for only the second time in her entire life. She only voted once before when she was in her 20s, and that was to cast a ballot for her own father who was running for town council. Just an idea of how excited people are to get out and vote today. We'll bring you more coming up new on 12 News Now at 6. For now, reporting live in Providence, I'm Kim Kalunian, 12 News.
Well, Kim, happy birthday to your grandmother. I am here in Cranston in House District 15. This is the seat held by Speaker Nicholas Mattiello. He's facing a challenge from Republican Barbara Ann Fenton Fung. Now, speaking of turnout, just a few moments ago, the Secretary of State's website updated their turnout numbers, and it does look like the voters of District 15 have now exceeded the turnout compared to 2016, and that's with, of course, 3 hours left to go here in the voting today. Now, Speaker Mattiello is actually behind me campaigning. Barbara Ann Fenton Fung was here a short time ago. Mattiello managed to fight back Republican challenges in this district in 2016 and 2018 from Steve Frias. This year is a little bit different, a challenge with Barbara Ann Fenton Fung. The two have similar policy beliefs on many issues since Mattiello is a more conservative Democrat, but Fenton Fung is really focused on some of the scandals that have surrounded some of the Speaker's allies in recent years, including the trial of Jeff Britt in October. He was a former campaign aide who is currently awaiting a verdict in a money laundering case, but the Speaker has denied knowing about Britt's alleged actions at the time.
I think people realize it's time for a change. They're rejecting what we found out in the trial was a campaign and a lifestyle or culture here in the way Mattiello ran his campaign about spying on families with young children. And
my opponents always like to impose their will on the voters. I'm not going to do that. You know, we'll see what the voters have to say. I'm confident that you're going to see that the voters have agreed with my approach. At the end of the day, it's only a few hours away. I try not to speak for the voters, but I will tell you my reception has been remarkably positive.
And this is not the only big race in Cranston today. The race for Cranston mayor, the seat is open because Barbara Ann Fenton Fung's husband, Alan Fung, is term limited. So for the first time in 12 years, the seat is open with no incumbent running. And for more on that race, let's go to my colleague, Brandon Truitt.
Well, Steph, as you just mentioned, for the first time in more than a decade, voters in Cranston picking a new mayor. Two different candidates with two different visions for the city, both of them hoping to come out on top tonight.
It's really exciting.
History is on the ballot in Cranston.
8 months has been a real long campaign.
The race for the mayor's seat in Cranston, not only near the top of the ticket, but top of mind for voters, too. More than 30,000 Cranston voters casting ballots early or in person so far today. Two of those voters, the candidates themselves. Republican Ken Hopkins voting with his 4 grandchildren today.
I showed them what the process was all about, and it was great because they were all saying vote for Pa, and it was fun.
Hopkins has the endorsement of outgoing Mayor Alan Fung, who's reached his term limit. On the other side of the ticket, Democrat candidate Maria Bucci.
We can't go on as politics as usual. We just can't do it anymore. We need someone that's going to wake up every day and fight for every Cranston resident.
Bucci says it's time for new ideas. If she wins, she will be the first female ever elected mayor of Cranston. But there is common ground here with just a few hours left, both saying there is still time to vote.
I just encourage everybody to go out. This is a year where we can truly make a difference.
If you want to have a say in what's going on in Cranston and you really care about your neighborhood and your city, you should get out there and vote.
Just in the last hour, I've seen several people dropping off their mail-in absentee ballots here at this drop box outside of City Hall. Remember, those are due by 8 o'clock tonight for them to ultimately be counted. Whoever wins this race for mayor are going to be sworn in January. Live in Cranston, Brandon Truitt, 12 News.
Brandon, thank you. As we mentioned, many choosing to vote by mail this election due to the ongoing pandemic.
And new at 5, we've learned all mail ballots may be scanned and counted before 6 p.m. The tally, however, won't be released until 11 p.m.
Target 12 investigator Walt Buteau is live at the Board of Elections with the latest on how things are going there. Walt?
The processing of those 160,000, nearly 160,000 mail ballots actually started on October 28th, we're told. And these high-speed scanners are just wrapping up the count on almost all of those mail ballots. Also, still activity to your left as we pan that way. And these folks, these are seasonal employees, and what they're doing is going through the ballots and sorting them by where the ballots are from, as in the city or the town. Now, this is what those high-speed scanners have looked like since late last week, trying to keep pace with the record-shattering total. The BOE's executive director tells us the state added a 3rd scanning machine this year and a letter opening and sorting device that helped streamline the counts. Have you seen any issues with the mail ballots?
We have not. Mail ballot processing in Rhode Island, in my opinion, is very secure. The ballot comes in, it's counted for, it's locked up until it's processed. The signature verification compares the signature on the envelope that contains the voter's voted ballot with the signatures the last signature of the voter that is on the central voter registration system.
Now, Brandon Truitt showed you one of those ballots, those remote boxes. 462 of those are still out there with ballots cast since Monday. They will be picked up during the next 2 days and added to the count. But as you mentioned, while they are counting the ballots with these machines, we will not know the tally, and we're told no one will know the tally until after 11 o'clock tonight. For now, we're live in Cranston. Walt Buteau, 12 News.
And voters in southeastern Massachusetts also casting their ballots in several key races. Veteran Massachusetts Senator Ed Markey is being challenged for his seat by Kevin O'Connor, a lawyer and a first-time candidate. We're also watching the race for the House seat previously held by Joe Kennedy. Democrat Jake Auchincloss and Republican Julie Hall vying for the 4th Congressional District seat. And please remember, 12 News is your local election headquarters. You can count on us for in-depth team coverage of all the big races tonight with expert analysis you can count on. We'll have live local updates every half hour starting in the 7 p.m. hour and on WPRI.com. Tim White and Ted Nesi have a special presentation at 8 o'clock. And, of course, we'll have breaking news and results all night long on 12 News and WPRI.com.